Hello everyone, back again to Magic Movie Recaps. Today I'm going to recap an action spy comedy film from 2003. Johnny English Strikes Again. Please do subscribe as a gift to support the channel. God will do something big after subscribe on the channel, thanks. A cyber attack at MI7 headquarters exposes the identity of its field agents. When the Prime Minister is informed about the mishap, she orders to immediately reinstate retired agents because she wants things under control before the upcoming G12 summit. As a result, Johnny English, now a geography teacher at a school, who also trains students in espionage, is called back by the agency, along with the other operatives. While signing the confidentiality documents, an old agent shows his secret weapon, a pen that can knock people unconscious if the cap is removed for too long. He then hands it over to Johnny to sign the papers, but he accidentally drops it into a cup of tea. Despite his efforts to retrieve the cap to put it back, the pen eventually incapacitates the agents. So the agency is left with no choice but to proceed with Johnny. Upon his request, his assistant Bao is also called back in, and both are given the necessary equipment to pull off the operation. Johnny refuses to take any technological help, and prefers to use his tried and tested methods. Bao explains the reason behind his choice, and reveals that smartphones and other equipment can be highly traceable, which is a risk in this case, as they are dealing with a digitally smart enemy, and don't want to be spotted by them. He also chooses an old Aston Martin, and drives to France, where the cyber attack was initiated. While driving there, Bao explains the details of the equipment, including some high-energy pills, and highly explosive jelly babies. After arriving at their target place, Hotel Magnifique in Cap d'Antibes, Bao tells him that they got the information of the guests from the headquarters, but he is suspicious of a guy named Sebastian, ex-military intelligence personnel. While spying on him using a waiter's getup, Johnny orders Bao to distract him, while he plans to steal his phone. Although he gets the phone, but has to return it after it starts ringing. To keep up the appearance, Johnny tries to help the customers with the food, but messes up, and accidentally sets the restaurant on fire. Meanwhile, Bao succeeds in getting the phone, and they find a picture of a yacht named .com, which they suspect to be their next target. Back in London, the Prime Minister hears a talk from a Silicon Valley billionaire Jason Volta, and orders her secretary to get him on board for a meeting, as she wants to sign a deal with him. The intelligence chief arrives, and tells her about another attack, targeting air traffic this time. She gets frustrated by the news, and asks him about the progress report from the agent they sent, but he is busy extinguishing the fire he just caused. After getting the location of the yacht from the headquarters, they infiltrate it by using Johnny's magnetic boots, but are soon spotted by a lady Ophelia Bulatova, who orders to lock them in a room. They use a low-intensity explosive to break out of the room, and they start searching around. After finding a server room, Johnny leaves a tracker there, which he explains as the sherbet fountain beacon. While sneaking out, Ophelia again spots him, but decides to let him go, as she has no information about him. The next day, as he and Bao keep an eye on the yacht, they talk about their personal lives, where Bao tells him about his wife Lydia, who is currently serving in the Navy as the captain of a nuclear submarine. Their conversation is interrupted, as they spot Ophelia along with her few other friends, sailing toward the dock, from where she leaves in her electric BMW. They decide to follow her, while Ophelia calls her acquaintances, and tells them about distracting Johnny with a car chase. While going after her, Johnny and Bao are hindered by some cyclists, but Johnny uses missiles to knock them down and clear the way. Soon their car runs out of fuel, but Ophelia finds them, and invites them over for drinks at a local hotel. Meanwhile, another attack in London disables the flow of traffic, by turning all the lights red at the same time. Before the Prime Minister can do anything about it, she is informed about Jason's arrival, who offers his help in solving the problem, and she reluctantly accepts it. After which he logs into the official website, but learns about the cyber attack. He then reroutes the service to his server in Nevada, and clears out the traffic in just a few seconds, before officially starting his meeting with her. In France, Johnny and Bao arrive at Hotel de Paris Cagny-sur-Mer, where Johnny decides to distract her, while ordering Bao to go check her room. When she leaves after a quick chat with him, Bao informs him that she is a Russian spy, but Johnny rejects his assumptions. On the other side, Ophelia receives a call, telling her that they ran a check on Johnny's room, but there is nothing noticeable. She thinks he is a pro at his job, and they must keep an eye on him, but is ordered to kill him instead. She complies with the orders, and intends to shoot him, but before she can do anything, Johnny, who has accidentally taken the pills, becomes hyperactive and leaves the room. Later, She tries to kill him multiple times, but fails due to his hyperactivity, which does not allow him to stay in one place. After he dances the night away, Bao comes over and reveals the owner of the yacht is Jason Volta, the same person who is currently in a meeting with the Prime Minister. After getting the information, they return to the headquarters and submit their findings. Although the chief is not sure about Jason, he allows them to go after him in search of evidence. They are taken into a simulation room and shown a virtual model of Jason's mansion. After Bao and the technician leave the room, Johnny puts on the headset, but without knowing that he did not unlock the walkway, he steps out of the room while assuming to be in the virtual reality. On his way, he hits a customer at a bookstore, harms a few other people, and knocks out a guide from an open-top bus, before eventually returning to the room. In the meantime, the Prime Minister talks to Jason's hologram, and asks about his opinion on her proposal. In response, he tells her that their infrastructure is a bit old, and he must transfer all the data to his own server. She immediately agrees with his suggestion, as she wants to settle things down before the summit. Johnny and Bao infiltrate Jason's mansion, but get surprised to see Ophelia already there. After revealing that she is aware of him being a British intelligence member, she intends to shoot him, but is stopped after they hear someone coming and agree to cooperate with each other for a short time. While spying on Jason, Johnny learns that he is planning his next target and tries to make a video by using Ophelia's iPhone, but is exposed after accidentally playing on the music. She then pretends to hold him hostage and presents him to Jason, who runs a recognition software and finds he is a geography teacher at a school, but does not believe it. Johnny tries to distract him by telling him that he has a force waiting to attack the mansion. But Jason quickly finds out it's only Bao, who just ran away after being chased by his dogs. As he teases Johnny, he breaks out of the room and leaves the mansion, while Jason begins chasing him. After stealing the car from a driving instructor, Johnny manages to dodge Jason with the help of the driving student, but accidentally switches his phone with hers. He presents his findings to the Prime Minister, while claiming that Jason is responsible for the attack on the London Eye. He then tries to back his claims with the video he shot at his mansion, but realizes his mistake, as the phone only contains videos of the lady who just drove him here. The Prime Minister gets frustrated with his irresponsible behavior and fires him for causing a fire at a restaurant in France, hitting a few people during his virtual tour, and now blaming Jason without any proper evidence. As he sadly leaves the office, Bao comes over and convinces him to continue, while suggesting they should seek help from his wife Lydia. By using her submarine, they arrive outside the Garrick Castle in Scotland, where the G12 meeting is being held in a few hours. As they leave, Lydia warns them about not using any digital equipment near the submarine, but they assure her they are not carrying any device. As Johnny climbs up the tower using a special bodysuit, Jason is told that he can launch his final attack as soon as the Prime Minister signs the agreement at the summit, and this way, all the data will be transferred to his server. Meanwhile, Ophelia, who is pretending to be his girlfriend, drugs his drink, but as Jason already knows she is a spy, he reveals already taking an antidote and removing the pin from her gun. As he intends to shoot her, Johnny intervenes by jumping through the window, but is forced to retreat after his suit gets stuck in the door. Ophelia, who is now left with no other choice, escapes after attacking Jason. The delegates start coming to the castle, but Johnny and Bao don't give up. They get inside with a band, where the Prime Minister is signing the agreement and introducing Jason to other members. As Jason explains his plan for the effective use of data and ruling the world, Johnny, who makes it to the conference room in his armor suit, once again interrupts him but faces another mishap, giving him enough time to take everything under control. Jason tells them that the agreement the Prime Minister just signed gave him access to UK's data, as well as the junction box in Ayrshire, which controls the World Wide Web. To prove his point, he initiates the first stage of the attack, which disables the junction box and dismantles the internet and electricity supply in Britain and Europe. He then threatens them to seize the internet and forces all of them to sign as well. Meanwhile, Johnny calls the headquarters to request backup, but forgets Lydia's warning about using phones near the marine, which accidentally locks in the ballistic missile code. As a result, Lydia also calls the headquarters and asks for further orders, but the secretary accidentally places both phones against each other, and a misunderstanding leads Lydia to launch an attack. The missiles fired from the marine redirect to Johnny's tracking device on .com and destroy its server, hence halting Jason's activity. Seeing this, Jason tries to escape from the castle by using his chopper, but Ophelia warns Johnny about him. Johnny finds him right before he gets onto the helicopter, but he reveals he can still execute his plan by redirecting the data to his server in Nevada. As Ophelia gives Johnny a tab and asks him to disable his helicopter, Jason teases him about being unaware of the technology. But Johnny uses the iPad to knock him out, and then destroys his phone with his sword. The Prime Minister thanks him for his work, but he faces another awkward situation. By accidentally dropping off his armor suit, after successfully completing his mission, he rejoins the school, where he is warmly welcomed by the principal and the students. He resumes his class, and shows different equipment to the children. As they start playing with them, Johnny realizes his mistake and quickly gets it back, but the principal accidentally chews the jelly babies. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications and leave a like to help the channel out.